With the MLB regular season about to start, I figure now is a good time to do my predictions as to who's going to win the divisions, who are going to be the award winners, and who will win the World Series. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button out of the ballpark, slide into the comment section, and tell me what are your predictions, whether it's divisions or injuries or guys playing good or bad, awards, World Series, whatever it is, I want to hear from you guys. And if you're new, you want to help the channel grow, help me get to 2,000 subscribers, you always can subscribe. And if you are subscribed already, you know the routine. Tell a friend, stranger, neighbor, dog, cat, fish, mouse, I don't care who. I appreciate all the support from everybody, and let's get into these predictions. So let's start with the divisions. The easiest division to predict in my mind is the American League Central, and I got the Chicago White Sox winning yet again. White Sox team, we know they're really good in the regular season. They got a stacked roster. Lance Lynn is going to be out for a little bit, but still, I think the White Sox are going to win that division. Then after that, I see the Minnesota Twins finishing second, Cleveland Guardians third, Detroit Tigers fourth, and the Kansas City Royals in fifth. In the American League West, I also have the division winner of last year winning again this year, the Houston Astros. In second place, the Seattle Mariners. Third place, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Fourth place, Texas Rangers, and fifth place, the Oakland Athletics. This is a division that I don't feel too confident in my predictions about outside of first and second place because Oakland Athletics, they had a good year last year, but they've gotten rid of so many guys. They have a lot of young players out there. They just traded Sean Manaea the other day. Who knows? Maybe Frankie Montas is going to go as well. And it's just hard for me to see them having a really good season. Meanwhile, the Texas Rangers, who finished in last place last season, made a lot of big upgrades. Obviously, I did my Rangers offseason grades with Rangers report by CFM. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure to check that out. But, I mean, let's be frank about it. With all the moves the Rangers made, I definitely could see them being possibly better than the Oakland Athletics, but not by much. And then the Los Angeles Angels, they better be in at least third place. You can't have guys like Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, who are two favorites for the American League MVP. They had a couple pitchers here and there, and they got a couple of pieces, but really, in my mind, they didn't do nearly enough to support the core that they already have. As far as the American League East, I have the Toronto Blue Jays win the division, Tampa Bay Rays finishing in second, the Boston Red Sox in third, New York Yankees in fourth, and the Baltimore Orioles in fifth. Now, I know Yankee fans don't want to hear that, but I think that when we look at this offseason for New York Yankees, they really didn't do all that much. They made the Josh Donaldson trade, but you lost Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez in the process. Losing Gary Sanchez may seem as an upgrade to some Yankee fans, but I think that Josh Donaldson, he's good, but I don't think he takes the Yankees to the next level. I still think the Yankees starting pitching outside of Garrett Cole, it really doesn't do too much for me, but the same goes for the Boston Red Sox. But the good thing for Boston is that they added a big-time player like Trevor Story. Josh Donaldson, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Anthony Rizzo, they're not Trevor Story. And I just love what the Blue Jays did this offseason. They really focused on their pitching. They had Marcus Semien replaced with Matt Chapman. They also made a trade for Raimel Tapia. But I really think that Toronto is going to be the team that they got really hot in the second half of the season. Hopefully George Springer stays healthy the whole year and Toronto can really show what they could do. And I got Tampa finishing in second because Tampa just wins. That's what they do. No matter who's on the roster, who they get rid of, who they bring in, Tampa Bay has established this model of consistency that they're going to be one of the top teams in the American League East year in and year out. Now over to the National League Central. Once again, same division winner from last year. I got the Milwaukee Brewers winning this one. In second place, St. Louis Cardinals. Third place, Chicago Cubs. Fourth place, Cincinnati Reds, and fifth place, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The National League Central is not too compelling. Yes, the Cardinals made a great second half run, but similar to what I said about the Yankees and the Red Sox, I don't love the starting pitching from the St. Louis Cardinals. We know Jack Flaherty's been dealing with some injuries. Then other than that, you're looking at guys like Steven Matz, Michaelis, Hudson. Are those guys really these top-tier pitchers that can keep up with the Milwaukee rotation of the Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff and Freddie Peralta and guys like that? I don't think so. I definitely lean Brewers when it comes to pitching. Yes, the Cardinals have the better lineup, but pitching is what wins ball games. So I definitely lean towards the Brewers, and it's kind of similar to Tampa Bay. They may not have the greatest roster, but Milwaukee always finds a way to be really successful. In the National League West, our second change of a division winner from last year, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the National League West, with the San Francisco Giants finishing in second, San Diego Padres in third, Colorado Rockies in fourth, and the Arizona Diamondbacks in fifth. The Dodgers adding Freddie Freeman was a really big boost in my eyes. We'll see what happens with the pitching. They have some guys that are hurt. Craig Kimbrell is going to be their new closer, so we'll see how he takes over for Kenley Jansen going over to the Atlanta Braves, and they lost A.J. Pollock in that trade. So I'm curious to see what the Dodgers can do. They're going to get a full year out of Trey Turner, and I just think that the Dodgers, they have a team that has a really strong roster, and if things aren't going well, they could make a really big trade deadline move like the way they did last season, acquiring Trey Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. And the Giants, as much as I would love to put them in first place again, I think they were just too big of a surprise. I would be shocked if they could pull off another year like they did last year, winning over 100 games. But I still have them in at least second place because of what they did this offseason. We talk so much about pitching, them getting Carlos Rodon and just signing a bunch of other pitchers just to fill out that overall depth. I think is going to be really important because when we get to my team in the New York Mets later on in this video, you see the importance of pitching depth, and the teams that have it and the teams that don't oftentimes are the difference makers between who makes the playoffs and who misses the playoffs. As far as the Padres, I love their roster. I loved what they did last offseason, but they just underperformed so much, and until proven otherwise, I have to see this Padres team put it all together. We know Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be missing some time, so we'll see if he can get to the swing of things. I imagine he will without any issue, but still, it's something to monitor for San Diego. And now, the National League East. The division winner, in my mind, will be the Atlanta Braves, with the New York Mets finishing in second, Philadelphia Phillies in third, Miami Marlins in fourth, and the Washington Nationals in fifth. Braves are still division champs in my mind. They lost Freddie Freeman, but they added Matt Olson, who's really good. And in the bullpen, they added somebody like Kenley Jansen to be an established closer. Will Smith now moves to a bit of a setup role, maybe a bit of a lefty specialist, a guy that they could use in a lot of different scenarios now that he doesn't have to be their closer. And Atlanta has just won the division year in and year out. And again, until proven otherwise, they still are the division champion, in my opinion. And with the New York Mets, we see DeGrom getting hurt. We see Scherzer's hamstring is bothering him. And there's a really high chance that Carlos Carrasco or Taijuan Walker could get hurt at some point. And while they have somebody like Tyler McGill that could step up, after McGill, what are you looking at? Can Trevor Williams really be that guy every 5 days? Are you going to rely on David Peterson or Jordan Yamamoto or some of these other guys? I still do not love the Mets bullpen. They had another lefty in Rodriguez, but still, none of these guys are big-time lefty pitchers. They're not Will Smith, for example, of the Atlanta Braves. And just overall, there isn't a lot of depth in that Mets bullpen. I don't love Adam Ottavino, and if any reliever gets hurt, like a May, Lugo, or Diaz, the Mets are in big trouble because who is really going to step up to be a lockdown reliever late in games if those guys are not available? And as far as the lineup, I don't have much faith in Robinson Cano, Francisco Lindor, and Jeff McNeil. Can they get back to who they were? Brandon Nimmo's got a stiff neck, so Nimmo's injured quite frequently, and starting Marte, he had his injuries already this spring training. So if the Mets are healthy, they have a chance at the division, but with seeing how the Mets have injuries already, and we haven't even started the regular season yet, I can't predict them as a division winners. I know Met fans don't want to hear that. I don't like it, but I'm just being frank about it. This is just the way I feel about it. And when I see the injuries this team has had and see the way they've played in years past and not being up to expectations, until they change my mind, until they prove it otherwise, the Braves are still the division winners to me. The Braves still are the division winners to me. Now let's go to the individual awards. For the American League Cy Young, I have Garrett Cole winning it in the American League. I don't feel great about that, but other than the American League, who's really going to step up? Shane Bieber. Other than that, not too many guys really stand out to me in the American League. The National League is a lot more compelling. I went with Corbin Burns. I would go with Jacob deGrom, but we know deGrom's already going to miss 4 weeks, and who knows what other kind of injuries he's going to have as the season progresses. So if deGrom's not healthy, he will not be winning the Cy Young. So that's why I'm leaning towards Corbin Burns. As far as the MVPs, I have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. winning the American League. I know he was really close to winning it last year. Ohtani had a great year. I just think that Toronto's going to have such a good year, and Vlad Jr. is going to be such a part of that success that hopefully they reward winning. Not just the guy with the best stats. You can't keep giving the MVP to Trout and Ohtani for a team that stinks, but these guys put up great numbers. I really would like to see a lead guy on a winning team win the award. I know it's not how it works in baseball, but in my opinion, I think Vlad Jr. would be a worthy MVP. And the National League, I got Juan Soto. I feel like I predicted him last year, but I just think Juan Soto is so freaking good that he's going to win the MVP at some point. I'm just going to keep predicting him every single year in the National League. And like I was saying with Trout and Ohtani, you could be a bad team but still win MVP, so I don't think the Nationals are going to be very good, but I do think Juan Soto will be very good, so that is why he could win the MVP. As far as Rookie of the Year in the American League, I have Julio Rodriguez. This guy's had a really nice spring training, and the kid has so much talent. He's going to make the opening day roster for Seattle, so I have Julio Rodriguez as the MVP in the American League, and it was a really tough decision because there are a lot of really good candidates. Bobby Witt, Spencer Torkelson, there's a lot of guys you could pick in the American League. And as far as the National League, I went with a bit of a wild card, not a favorite. I went with Bryson Stott. He's had a good spring training. We know O'Neal Cruz will not be starting the season with Pittsburgh. And some of the other guys like Suzuki hasn't really had a great spring, and he's coming over to America. Really different ball game for him. So I'm leaning towards Stott of the Philadelphia Phillies. And then my World Series prediction is the Los Angeles Dodgers will be taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'm very high on the Blue Jays, and I actually have them winning the World Series. I think that I just love what they added with pitching. I said it earlier in the video. I say it in pretty much all of my videos. There is just so much importance in having good starting pitching. The Blue Jays now going to have a full year of Jose Barrios. They have Hyun-Jin Ryu. They added Kevin Gausman. I know they lost Robbie Ray, but you add Gausman, you add Kikuchi, you have Alek Manoah, and if Nate Pearson never steps up, that would be great. Hopefully you can have some of your relievers be healthy for the full course of the season. Same goes for that lineup. We know that lineup is going to be absolutely elite, and I can see them winning the World Series. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your predictions. And until next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy. Not only you, but Mets, please be healthy. And let's go, Mets. Please prove me wrong and win the freaking division.